There's been a lot of speculation, conspiracy theories, fake news, and political propaganda that GTA 6 will, might, or should have a two-player mode, whether it be local multiplayer or online co-op, taking us all back to the glory days of gaming, when we'd play games with our siblings or cousins on one console, and we'd all glaze Rockstar for bringing two-player mode back to mainstream gaming through GTA 6. And don't get me wrong, the two-player slash split screen days are days I long for, and I'm not against Rockstar putting some form of two-player in GTA 6. Mostly. But the truth is, it's just not happening. And I'm not here to burst anyone's bubble, more to just let you down easy. So sit back and let me explain why I believe two-player in GTA 6, for the sake of the game and from the perspective of Rockstar, is actually not a great plan. Let's get into it. The first and biggest issue is performance. A local multiplayer mode, especially when it's split screen, to us the players may seem like a pretty simple task, but it's actually an extremely grueling process for the game engine to carry out, as it has to render two or more player states simultaneously, which again to us sounds pretty simple, right? But it isn't, because this process requires complex synchronization of game physics, AI, and world state. This complexity is multiplied depending on the quality of the game. See where I'm going with this? When you have a game like GTA 6 running at 4K 120 FPS on the PS5 Pro, and you try to run two-player on it, you could potentially create a nuclear weapon. The game engine would have to load what would most likely be Jason and Lucia in split screen in an open world as big as GTA 6's.
Ain't no fucking way, boy.
Which will make your console sound like a small private jet. The computing power would need to at least double to keep everything consistent, the character models, AI, physics, interactions, etc. Then your console is gonna start sounding like a cargo plane. Things get even worse if the two players somehow manage to move within a meter apart of each other. Then the game engine will essentially have to run two GTA 6s at once, with both players maintaining all their privileges at long distances. That's when your console starts sounding like the Apollo 11. And on top of all of that, all this would have to be rendered at 4K 120 frames per second. Now that's when your console, and you can enjoy GTA 6 two-player with Michael Jackson and Tupac. Now, you might be thinking, what about single view split screen, which is what they did in GTA San Andreas, which looks less demanding since both players shared one screen, as opposed to multi-view split screen, which I just explained, puts the game engine in an STF. Well, GTA San Andreas had the largest map in Grand Theft Auto history when it released in 2004. So Rockstar had to go with single view split screen for their two-player, as allowing both players to explore the world independently in multi-view split screen would be too taxing on the performance of the game. And even in this single view split screen, there was still a maximum distance the game would allow the players to be apart from each other, which if they exceed would automatically terminate the session and go back to single player mode. And even with all these limitations, did you guys know that in GTA San Andreas' two-player mode, CJ was still the only actual player?
Ain't no fucking way.
No,
ain't no way.
No, say you swear to God.
Boy, ain't no way.
Say, put that on Allah.
Boy, ain't no way.
Say wallahi.
That's right. Player 2 was never actually a player. That's why they couldn't pause the game, use vending machines, enter buildings, or open the map. Player 2 was just an NPC attached to CJ that we could control. That's right. Your whole life was a This was done to prevent the game engine from having to handle two full, what I like to call player states at the same time. Because it would, you guessed it, put the game engine in an STF. GTA San Andreas' two-player mode was also removed from PC and later versions of the game due to these performance issues. The definitive edition of the game doesn't have two-player even though it's made for the PS4 and Xbox One, which are far more powerful consoles compared to the PS2. Yes, local multiplayer in open world games is that bad. That's why Need for Speed games today no longer have split screen. Or the most recent Call of Duty games went from a maximum of 4-player split screen to 2 players. And AAA games today that would make sense to have a 2-player mode in don't have one. So I'm surprised to see that people have put this wild expectation on GTA 6 for some reason. It may seem simple to us, but in reality, it's actually very difficult to optimize, maintain, and takes a huge toll on performance, especially with the type of games we have coming out today. The second reason we're probably not getting a 2-player is, well, reason. Rockstar have no reason to give us a local multiplayer mode. It's important to understand that these companies believe in one acronym: making overwhelmingly nice and engaging video games for the youth. I'm joking, it's money. Money, always has been. So what does Rockstar have to gain financially from giving us 2-player? If anything, they actually lose money from it, because 2-player means 2 people can enjoy GTA 6 at the same time on one console without both having to buy the game. And that, my friends, is not good for business. Like, why spend 6 months making a 2-player mode that returns nothing financially when we can spend those 6 months perfecting the game's jiggle physics that will directly translate into sales, you know what I mean? True. This guy's spitting. Or we can work on the online mode. I mean, that would make us a lot of money too. I guess. It's not ridiculous to say that. It is not ridiculous to say that at all. Someone wants a promotion. The third and final reason is game design. It's no secret that most AAA games today focus on online multiplayer and live service models. So the entire game needs to be built off that approach, meaning we will get the offline story, online multiplayer, and updates that are to come after that, as it's a live service model. So as long as those boxes are ticked, there's no reason for them to go outside of that scope and add an offline multiplayer that will require just as much maintenance as the online multiplayer, just for it to return not even a fraction of the revenue the online mode does. It's best to stick to the agreed model and only implement what's necessary, and most importantly, what brings value. Now, there will be people out there who will make the argument saying, okay, they don't have to do an offline multiplayer. They can just do an online co-op where 2 players online play the story together. That way, everyone has to buy the game and play it on their own console, making Rockstar money and the game easier to run. And although I'm not against that, because it'll probably be fun and give replayability value to the story, it also just wouldn't work. Because GTA 6 is probably going to be the longest GTA game to date. Do you really think every mission is gonna need both Jason and Lucia to be there? Didn't think so. What even happens when one of the missions only requires one character? Do I just watch the person I'm playing with play the entire mission alone? And this is a game I paid for. Who do we even play with? Randoms? There's so much that can go wrong with that. Playing with friends makes the most sense, but that probably means we'd have to play the story at the same pace. What if bro gets kidnapped? So I can't play until someone pays his ransom. That's crazy. Look, I'd love offline multiplayer / co-op in GTA 6 as much as everyone else. but there's just too much going against it on so many different levels for us to even hope that it's added to the game. So I hope I've done enough to dismiss the ongoing allegations, propaganda, and conspiracy theories. We'd all enjoy 2-player in GTA 6, but the sad truth is,
We don't have the capacity.
thanks for watching.